total awareness. It doesn't require a sixth sense, just 2 extra sensors.
And thank you, John Roethlisberger and Courtney Kupets-Carter, 2 of my favorite Olympians. Looked like a great meet down there in Florida today. Well, welcome to Auburn University for more of our live SEC network coverage of women's gymnastics. Tonight it's the Battle of the Tigers as the 14th-ranked Auburn Tigers welcome the 2nd-ranked LSU Tigers, led by that woman there, Dee Bro, in her 40th season as LSU's head coach. And boy, what a start they've had this year. Consistent scores above 197.
You know, we always look for those big 198s, but 197, that's the benchmark for just consistently great gymnastics, and they've been able to do it along with Oklahoma. They're only one of 3 teams, though, that have apparatus scores, none of them under a 49.0, another big benchmark.
And there is Auburn coach, 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, Jeff Graben. Now, they've had a tougher challenge this season for sure, Kathy.
They sure have. They had some bad luck with some season-ending injuries, but I call them the little engine that could, and they are led by the perfect coach. A little bit up and down, but they have chugged steadily through the course of this season, making it up the mountain, and they're coming into this one with a lot of confidence after last meet.
I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Laura Rutledge reporting from the sidelines here. We're set to start the competition. The home team, Auburn, opens up on the vault. Emma Engler will be the leadoff performer there for the Auburn Tigers.
They shifted their lineup around a little bit during the warm-ups. Emma is a very strong opening vault for Auburn. They are trying to be more dynamic here, trying to go for bigger vaults in terms of height and distance. They're not quite worried about the landings yet. They still want to work on dynamics. So look for the height and the distance on these vaults.
Emma Engler, a sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina. She stepped in place of Katie Becker, who was originally scheduled to lead off, but they've adjusted after the warm-ups, the lineup. Here is the lineup for LSU on the bars. Shea Zamardi, the senior from Canada, will get the lead-off spot.
Now, Shea is a gymnast who could go anywhere in the lineup on bars. This is a solid routine that can truly stand alone, mainly because of just impeccable form. She really works on keeping the legs together. I saw a little separation on those first 2 skills. But other than that, they're glued together, hits the handstand, sets up for a big dismount. They are going for sticks right off the bat. Didn't quite get it. 1 step on that blind landing.
Let's take a look at the rules in collegiate gymnastics. Dual meet competition, 6 gymnasts for each team on each event. The best 5 scores count towards their team total after all 4 apparatus are complete. The team with the highest cumulative score wins, and the home order is vault, bars, beam, floor. The away team does bars, vault, floor, and then they finish on the beam. We go back to vault. Kelsey Kopek, after Katie Becker was taken out of the lineup, Kelsey Kopek has gotten the spot here. She's going 2nd.
Coach Graben has wanted to get her into the vault lineup all season long. This is their chance. Have some senior leadership in the lineup. And knew she was a little bit on the close end of the table, so she didn't quite get the block up, but managed to stay clean and find the landing. Little bent arms on the table, so couldn't quite get the big push, but so nice to see her in the vault lineup.
The redshirt senior from Alpharetta, Georgia. She is superb on the uneven bars, but it's good to see her doing more here as well. Season high for Shea Zamardi from LSU on bars, and that brings up Maya Hambrick, the junior from Temple, Georgia, less than 100 miles away.
Watch how smooth and aggressive she is on this event. Big swing, good timing on everything. Little rush there on that transition down the low bar. She needs to slow down, settle down. Worked hard to try to show that last handstand. Let's see if she can get the stick on a half in, half out. Almost. Just a little slide of the feet.
She is a superbly balanced all-around gymnast. Let's take a look at her handstands on bars.
Gets it right on top. Not bad, just a little shy of the 90 degrees. That should be no deduction. Nice big height on the release move, 2.5 feet above the high bar. And they're really wanting to see some big sticks. They haven't gotten one yet, but this one was a little bit closer.
We'll go back to vault for Auburn. Miracle Phillips set to go now. 9.65 was the score for Kelsey Kopech.
Great speed coming into the table. Nice block. That's the biggest block so far.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the hop on the landing was as big as the block, but I tell you what, it's so great to see Coach Grava pushing his athletes. Go big. Don't worry about the landing yet. Let's do some big gymnastics.
He has the combination of the power and the technique here. Boom.
Good block up. Look at the height, 6 feet above the height of the table, and her distance was pretty good, but that step, that's going to cost her.
All right, Auburn has had some challenges this year with injuries, and yet they are putting together a pretty good team effort. I'm excited to see this young lady, Ruby Harrell, the 2-time Olympian from Great Britain.
Whoa, almost over-rotated that first handstand. This is a great combination. Back to back, that's a Zook hold. I had a coach who loved Erika Zuchold of Germany. She invented that skill. He even taught it to me. I love to see it make a comeback, and it is so unique that the judges love it, the audience loves it, and they are going to like that dismount. Just a little step.
Here's a young lady that just 6 months ago was competing for Great Britain in Rio de Janeiro at the Olympics.
Handstand went a little too far over. They're going to have to take the deduction. But watch the transition. Shap half right into the Zook hold. Nailed the handstand position there. Double front here. Way up high above the bar, but just a little adjustment with that 1 foot.
Go back vaulting for Auburn. Taylor Krippner. Miracle Phillips has a 9.75.
Another Yurchenko full. That had a balance of everything, really. She may not have had the height as a Miracle, but she had good height, good distance, nice form in the air. We will see bigger vaults, but it was nice and clean. She set up before she wrapped for the twist, and a smaller hop than we've seen so far.
It's a young lady who did some of her training at Cypress, Texas at World Champions Center. That is the home gym of Simone Biles, the reigning Olympic all-around champion. Ashley Natt now set to go for LSU on the bars. Ruby Harrell, an impressive 9.825.
She goes by the nickname Bugs, and it's really cool to see her on this event. This is not her best event, but she is ready to go when they need her. Look at the perfect height and distance on her release move. This is one of the best. Bar reaches, except for that transition to low bar, just a little awkward going into the handstand. Might have been a tad short on that final handstand, but watch, she'll probably nail it. No, not quite, got hung up, missed the release point. That's the thing that Coach Didi Bro was trying to work on. They wanted a better release point. This one was absolutely perfect. But the dismount, she lets go way too soon, slings it out, and had to work really hard and unfortunately piked down severely to make that landing.
You see associate head coach there, Jay Clark. He focuses on bars, and he really wants her to settle down, calm down a little bit on her bar routine. MJ Rote now. Taylor Krippner before her. A 9.8, their high score so far.
Very powerful, very clean, nice vault. That's her best one of the season, except for the landing.
She's a very dynamic gymnast, often gymnast of the week for the Auburn Tigers.
Check this out, Bart. Really hit that position to get the block. So she's 4.5 feet above the table on the height. And the judges do keep in mind the height of the gymnast. Great balance with dismount. Almost 6.5 feet, 7 feet right there. Good distance, but they will deduct for the hop.
Back to the bars now. Sarah Finnegan, sophomore from Lee's Summit, Missouri, the 3-time All-American. Ashley Natt had a 9.65.
Just impeccable toe point throughout this routine. Really nice to see the polish there. The judges really want to see a routine that looks easy, smooth swing, good rhythm, hit handstands. Nice dismount. They are not hitting their release points going into the dismount, so they're not getting the shape in the air that really sets it up.
She's had 2 big meets in a row. on balance beam. We'll see her in the lineup a little
Now,
bit later.
this is actually a little bit short, but she finessed it and really got the feet in that vertical position. Pretty in the air, but piked down when she didn't need to, and that over-rotated her to step back.
Final vaulter for Auburn will be Gracie Day, the freshman from San Antonio, Texas. Former junior national team member.
And she does a 1.5 twist, so a little bit more difficult. They could use this big score if she can control the landing. Oh, only did a full here. Thought about the stick as an afterthought, which I'm sure Coach Graba is not too concerned with. They're still trying to go for dynamics. Full twist, toes pointed throughout. That's nice to see.
This is an event that's completely retooled for Auburn. They have 5 new vaulters in this lineup since last year, so this is a completely new and less experienced team than we're used to seeing from Auburn, but excited about the future and the potential here. Lexi Priestman, the final bar worker for LSU. Sarah Finnegan, a 9.85.
Really such a luxury to have these final 2 bar performers. Look at that combination from the release move up and high right to the pack salto down to low bar. Good difficulty. Hit the handstand. Let's see if they can get 1 stick here in this event. And they got it.
The sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio gets plenty of hugs.
You could see, watch this, nice release move. Right to the pack salto down. Great combination of difficulty. Perfect release point here. Didi's going to be happy. Nailed the landing.
And the second team All-American on the uneven bars in 2016 anchors a strong effort there for LSU on the bar. So that is the first of 4 rotations here at Auburn. Exciting gymnastics here in the SEC. Don't go away.
Total awareness. It doesn't require a 6th sense. Just 2 extra sensors.
Hi, how can I help?
Welcome back to Friday Night Heights. After the first of 4 rotations, by more than a half a point, LSU leads after the first rotation. Hi, everybody. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist, Kathy Johnson-Clark. Now, at this point in the season, just a couple of weeks left, both coaches have some very specific goals for these teams. How did you think Auburn did on vault?
Well, Coach Graba really wants Auburn to have bigger vaults. They know to be competitive, they have to fly higher and go farther. He didn't want them worrying about the landings. So, yes, they did. They couldn't get the landings, but they were bigger vaults.
What about LSU on the bars?
Absolutely. They kind of, I would say, halfway went there. They came out with sabers. They were aggressive. They were not as sharp. They got a little rushed ahead of themselves and couldn't get the landings.
All right, let's go down to Laura Rutledge for more.
Well, thank you, Bart. And when you look at this LSU team, they've certainly had a target on their backs all season long. Ashley Natt told me, hey, we embrace that. We have a lot of good heads on our shoulders throughout this team. She said it's perfect for what we're dealing with all the pressure. She said they have a team rule that they don't check Twitter or social media until well after a meet, so that they don't pay attention to anything that people might say or tweet at them. And she said they've really relied on each other as this season has gone along. It helps that this team is so close. Ashley Natt, certainly now as a senior, has been a part of plenty of teams that have had pressure on them. Now we will see Ashley next on vault, but first she's going to explain to us exactly how she does this double twisting Yurchenko.
Hotels.com's rewards program is simple. For every 10 nights I stay, I get 1 free.
Cell phone, Captain Obvious.
This, on the other hand, will not be simple.
You're gonna have to ride the belt.
Hotels.com. So simple, it's the obvious choice.
I have liquids in my body.
I start at the beginning of the runway, breathing and calming myself down. As I jump, I propel myself forward, running as fast as I can down the runway. As I do the round-off, I reach my hands back as fast as I can and prepare myself for the block. My main thing that I'm focusing on is squeezing my legs and making sure they're tight. As I come down, I'm focused on keeping my chest up so that I can stick the landing to my best ability.
Ashley Nadd is one of 4 gymnasts currently in the NCAA competing that double twisting Yurchenko, and you see it's paid off 3 times. She scored perfect 10s. Kathy, your impression of that technique?
I actually feel like I could do one now. She walked me through that. If I could just run as fast as I can.
She bolts down that runway. It's pretty exciting to see, and she'll anchor the LSU lineup as she did on January the 13th against Alabama. What a moment. We were there.
Exciting moment for everyone. That was one of the cleanest, tightest double twists she's ever done. And what a landing.
She literally dropped out of the rafters on that and landed like a dart going into a dartboard. Let's see if she can duplicate here tonight at Auburn. LSU a heavy favorite. They have a lead of .55, and you see Dee Bro. She's over there kind of giving a little love to the gymnasties. Let's go down to Laura.
Yeah, Bart, I think Dee loves the gymnastics. She certainly has said that she loves their passion for gymnastics, but she is over here kind of in the mix, having some fun with them. I kind of wanted to tell her to watch out because I really don't think their paint is dry yet. I don't want it to get on her beautiful gold jacket.
I think, to be honest, I think she's protecting her athletes. She wants to make sure that none of these gymnasties distract her powerful vaulters. This is one of the finest vault teams in the country, currently ranked 2nd. In fact, she's gotten all the gymnasties to sit down in the front row and pay attention to Juliana Canamella, the first vaulter for LSU.
On these first 2 events that LSU really needs to learn to come out strong, go for broke, go for these big stuck landings. That was a Yurchenko full. She piked just a little bit, so the judges will hit her tiny bit on the position in the air. Really want to show that stretch all the way through.
Good form.
Yes, beautiful form.
Only 2 vault lineups this year so far. Her high score was a 9.85. Auburn will be on the bars in the 2nd rotation. Katie Becker set to go. Originally we had Kendall Moss in the lineup, but just before the meet, Katie Becker stepped in and she gets the leadoff spot.
And this is her favorite event, with her favorite skill coming up right here, her Jaeger front. It's as close as you will get to flying. Judges still looking for those handstand positions. Those are the definite things that will cause a deduction. Double layout, pretty position in the air, the nice stretched body, but they will take a 10 for stepping back. Let's see how she did on the handstands, because the judges sit right on the sides of the bar, just a little bit close, because even though technically that's no deduction, all the coaches have told me the judges want them right on top, or they may take a half a 10.
Katie Becker got her first start in the all-around last week against Alabama. Back to the bars now. Back to the vault. Canamella, 9.825. Sarah Finnegan.
And this is an equally pretty vault. Very elegant in the air. Legs squeezed together, toes pointed, and that's the landing that Dee Bro knows this team has to come up with plenty of those to compete at the national level against Oklahoma. That's how they got outscored. They couldn't quite attack these landings.
Boy, these 2 vaults, the first 2 vaults literally float down from the air and softly land.
Very, very good control.
Bob Moore, the assistant coach there, responsible for vaulting, has done a great job with that team. Kelsey Kopak now up for Auburn on bars. Currently, this team is ranked 11th in the country on this event. This is one of their best events.
And how impressive is this? She's already earned her engineering degree in 4 years, will finish her MBA in 3 semesters, and has been in every bar lineup. Little bit of struggle on those handstand positions. She's not quite as confident as I've seen her on this event, just looking like she's working a little too hard. But look at the straight body. That was the best part. And if you're gonna do something great, you do the dismount and nail the landing. Last thing the judges see, and she hit it big time. Yep, short on that handstand, they will hit her there. Came back here, though, with the best dismount of the evening so far and a great landing.
And congratulations there from Kurt Henninger in his 9th season here. He's responsible for their good work on the bars. Maya Hambrick set to go. Sarah Finnegan before her, a season-high 9.85.
She's doing a 1.5 this season, new from last year, and got it. Almost got the landing as well. A very clean, compact vault, but raises the level up to a 10.0 value vault. Great distance. Distance was really the best part of the vault. They'll take a deduction for a pretty big hop on the landing.
6-time All-American junior from Temple, Georgia. There's a lot of her family in attendance because Temple, Georgia is a little less than 100 miles from here in Auburn, Alabama. Taylor Krippner, Kelsey Kopech before her a 9.7. So the two scores for Auburn Iron Bars are 9.725 and 9.7.
Beautiful opening handstand there. Toe on handstand to the bail. Oh. Looked like she almost lost her balance as she stood on the low bar. Here's her Kachev at the very end of the routine. Nice distribution of difficulty. Wow, she pushed that final handstand, really pushed through her shoulders to show it off. Nice half in, half out. Little deep on the squat, but it helped her control that landing and take no hops. She really went hard for this first handstand. Almost, well, I'd say that was a little bit over. They might take a 1/2 tenth there, but the dismount, knees tight together. Very nice control.
They've been really working on optimizing their scores, and they're clean here on bars. Very impressive for Auburn. We go back to vault now. Sydney Ewing. Maya Hambrick, a 9.875.
And she will follow up Maya Hambrick's 1.5 with another 10.0 vault. 1.5 twist. Now watch this. It's a blind landing. A little bit harder to find these landings and stick. Got to really hit this position. Oh, not quite. Nice in the air, but could not quite find that landing.
4-time All-American. Really a team leader for LSU this year. Consistently in the top 10 involved in the NCAA.
This is one of those vaults you just got to blast it up, feel for the landing.
Recruited to LSU primarily because she's an excellent vaulter. I worry sometimes she tries to hold back a little bit on the landings, but LSU doing well on vault as we go to Sam Serio, the sophomore now from Huntersville, North Carolina. Taylor Krippner, a 9.775. No 9.8s so far yet for Auburn on bars.
Sam has been a very consistent performer. Love that element, a little bit different. Goes into the Higgins roll before she goes into her release move. Does that bail to handstand, very nice, hits that position perfectly. Giant full pirouette to a tuck double back. Good landing. Auburn is definitely winning in terms of the landing positions on uneven bars. See that turn to an eagle grip. A little more unique than we usually see. Tight tuck and a very simple double back, made a little more difficult with that full pirouette before it, but good landing.
It's a combination bonus by doing the full pirouette into that double back somersault. Lexi Priestman. Bars now for, on vault for LSU.
She's vaulted in all but 2 meets this season. A 1.5, much bigger than the previous 2 teammates in terms of height and distance.
Although the best score so far is Sydney Ewing's 9.9. Good control on her landing.
It's going to be a big bonus for them going into postseason, having more of those 10-0 vault values.
Sam Serio had a 9.875, so they broke into the 9.8s for Auburn. Gracie Day, the freshman from San Antonio now.
Most of the Auburn athletes do the same release move, which is a Jaeger front. Hers comes up right after this blind change, right here. Beautiful position in the air. Do you see how her toes stayed pointed, her legs stayed straight? Often gymnasts lose their form in that extreme position above the bar. Look at that.
Nice.
Double
Great.
Arabian, half twist into that double front, and she found the floor like a cat.
This is a team that's been up against the wall. They have yet to have a team victory, but I'm really impressed. They don't seem to have let down in terms of their spirit and their attitude, and they're still hitting clean routines.
And I love how that dismount just kind of sneaks up on you. She casts right to the handstand, goes right into it.
And here is Ashley Nat. We talked about her perfect tens on her double twisting Yurchenko, the 11-time All-American. Can she do it again?
The most impressive part of her vault is how she opens out of the double twist.
Lexi Priestman had a 9.85.
There it is. One of her better vaults. I love the way she opens the arms out to the side. She's going to have competition this year, so I think she's allowed that to push her to a better vault. She's always been bold going for this double twist. Now she's working on the form, working on the height and distance. Let's see where she is. Nice hip out, about 5.5 feet up, 5 feet. This is where she's a little bit short. She doesn't go quite as far out as some of the other double twists in the country. But if you can land like this and give no tenths of a point away on a landing.
And her score is in now, 9.95 in an away meet for Ashley Nat. As we go to bars, Emma Engler after Gracie Day's 9.85.
Nice handstand position on the low bar. This is her most consistent event. Very easy event for her. Finishes off with a double layout and an excellent landing. Boy, they were on fire in terms of hitting their bar routines the best they're capable of, and now they're nailing the landings. Just those are the little tenths of a point that they can now add. They can start focusing on these little things, as we say.
Impressive landings for Auburn on the bars. Serio a 9.875, Gracie Day a 9.85, and the score in now for Emma Engler, a career high 9.9. So a big finish on the bars for Auburn. Of course, LSU has the lead. Let's go down to Laura. She's with Dee Dee Bro.
All right, thank you, Bart. And Coach, you wanted your gymnasts to come out here with their sabers and run up the hill. How do you think they've competed so far?
I think that we started pretty tenacious. We have asked them all along, you got to start strong and finish strong, and we wanted them to be very aggressive in their first two events, and I think we did that.
What did you just tell them there as you were talking to them, talking about building as they go along a little more?
Well, we don't want to, the law of holes. When you find yourself in one, quit digging. So we didn't want to take any back steps. We want to continue to move forward. We feel like we've gained momentum throughout the season. This is past the midpoint, and we're expecting better things out of them as we go along, moving forward.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, only Dee Dee Bro can attempt to tame the gymnasties. Rotation 3 is coming up. LSU with a lead.
All right, the final piece. A little to the left.
Our trip to SEC country was amazing.
Yeah, it was. So many great people, and man, can they tailgate.
It's official. SEC in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Let's go make some sausage.
Hey, let's go.
No getting through now.
You sweet on a tiny horse.
This here's private property.
Call off the search party. Because I found them.
Found who?
Two thirsty cowboys who deserve the sweet reward of a Diet Dr. Pepper.
That's mighty sweet.
Told you.
That's some fancy rope work. Use a hand like you on the ranch.
Sorry, Buckaroo, Little Sweet's just passing through.
What'd that fella say his name was?
Diet Dr. Pepper. It's the sweet one.
Back to Auburn, Alabama. LSU has the lead at the halfway point in this competition. You know, one of the most challenging events in all of women's gymnastics is the uneven bars. Sports science broke down the physics for us. Let's take a look.
To maximize what's known as gravitational potential energy, gymnasts set up for a release on the uneven bars with a handstand. As gravity pulls them down, energy is converted from potential to kinetic, or the energy of motion. Now when she prepares to transfer between bars, the gymnast pulls her center of mass closer to the bar by producing about 800 watts of power. This allows her to increase her rotational velocity to more than 300 degrees per second, which is required to go from the low to high bar. And when a gymnast is rotating at her fastest, her arms can be subjected to loads of more than 7 times her own body weight. For a 110-pound gymnast, that's equivalent for a split second to the weight of a grand piano.
Well, Bart, as this event has evolved, so has equipment. Hand grips have come into play so that you can handle the torque of that swing. Conditioning drills, the athletes are stronger, and technique-wise, far more superior. Pretty amazing.
And there's Colin Lowick. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what the judges have to do to calculate the score on the balance beam, especially the special requirements. Don't go away.
You give your all here and here. You're building a foundation that will lead to opportunities, that will open doors. Yet so many smart, talented student athletes leave college prepared to make money, but ill-prepared to manage it. That's why Regions Bank has provided more than 64,000 presentations in communities throughout the SEC to teach individuals good sense money management. Because understanding the value of a dollar is just as important as earning one.
I had frequent heartburn, but my doctor recommended Prilosec OTC 7 years ago.
5 years ago.
Last week. Just one pill each morning, 24 hours and 0 heartburn.
It's been the #1 doctor recommended brand for 10 straight years, and it's still recommended today.
Use as directed.
And welcome back. We're set for the third rotation, which means the balance beam for Auburn. You know, when trying to come up with a correct score, gymnastics judges have a lot to calculating to do on the fly, including keeping track of what they call the special requirements on each apparatus. So let's take a look, Kathy, at some of the special requirements on the balance beam, and let's see if the gymnasts can meet those requirements in real time as the routine happens.
Well, put on your judges' thinking caps. They need to do a full turn, a flight series or acro series. Colin's full turn comes up right here. It's a full spin. It has to. She does it reverse, a little unique there, but check that one off. They also have to do an acro series with 2 flight elements. One has to be at least a C. This is her back handspring, layout step out, acro series, check. Now to not get up to the level deduction, she'll have to do an extra D. There's her leap series, her dance series, check. And one of those needed to be in a 180-degree split. It was a little bit close, I'll give it to her, but it was borderline. And there's her extra D, her front toss. Get some bonus points for that combination, and that's just style points there for the Michael Jackson moonwalk. Now the dismount has to be at least a C or a D plus B. She does a C, a 1.5 twist. Check, she has all her special requirements, and most important, she hit her dream routine. What a feeling.
Now that means with all those requirements checked, her routine comes from a start value of 10. So the judges are doing 2 things at once. They're adding up the difficulty of the scores, checking the special requirements, and at the same time they're deducting execution deductions. It's a lot going on, and they have to churn out an accurate score within 30 seconds.
Bart, I hate to throw something extra in there. Those were just the special requirements. They're actually looking for connection bonus as well.
Now,
so
that's why I'm not a judge. I'm over here. The TV's the easy route. Yeah. All right, LSU has been wowing us all season long on the floor. Here they go with Sydney Ewing.
And this is so many people's favorite event because the gymnast can go in show-off mode And the LSU Tigers do it as well as anyone in the country. Opens with front double twist. That could be a tricky landing, and she handled it beautifully. Front full, nice float, and on that second layout, nailed the landing.
Ewing is the senior from Lafayette, Louisiana, vault, beam, and floor. 3 events that she competes. 4-time All-American. LSU is ranked 2nd in the country in team competition to Oklahoma and 2nd on every event. Oklahoma happens to be 1st in team and 1st on every event. So as we look towards the end of the year, it's expected to have teams like LSU and Oklahoma, probably along with Florida and maybe a couple of others, contending for that national title, which takes place in the middle of April.
Good control on all 3 passes. That will put a smile on your face. Really nicely done.
You know, Kathy, when we first saw them early in the season, we haven't seen them for about a month, but I'm so impressed with the power, the fitness, and the endurance of this team.
You could tell from the first meet we saw that they had put in the preseason preparation to start the season in great shape, great condition. And that's how you endure this long season. Now, mentally, that's another story. That's another thing they have to balance.
Colin Lowick rewarded for her beam expertise, a 9.8, a very strong start for Auburn on beam in that critical lead-off spot. Sam Serio now.
Sam is an engineering major, so I think that mindset can really help you on this event. Very organized. It's a problem-solving type major, and she must design airplanes or military missiles someday.
Well, you can see here, flying is not a problem for this
Whoa,
young
whoa,
lady.
whoa. She landed with her toes off the beam. When you land on your heel and the toes are not on the beam, that's your balance. It's a really hard thing to adjust and get it back on.
Last year at the SEC meet, she had a 9.85, tied for the highest score by any freshman at the meet.
What a shame, because this is an event that was really going well for them. Nice leap. That's a beautiful switch leap, half twist. Showed the full split and much more difficulty in her dance series. And a punch full. The rest of the routine was nicely done. Unfortunately, they will take off 0.5 of a point for the fall.
She almost crashed into some of her teammates, too. See what happened here, Kathy.
See, she landed on her heel. Half of her foot was off the balance beam, and those all-important toes, that is such a nice, difficult leap. Does the half turn in the air, finishes that position, shows off the split. Beautiful.
LSU off to a great start as we look at Shea Zamardi. Sydney Ewing opened up with a 9.9, and they have 6 really powerful athletes in this lineup.
This is one of the most polished routines you will see. Really shows off her footwork, high on toe. I love the way it just flows from the dance right into the tumbling. You don't even expect the power that she brings to that double Arabian.
4 times this year, she's scored 9.9 on floor.
Comes back with a tuck double back. Love the energy in her dance, the expression on her face. It all works so well together to show off the choreography.
Former Canadian elite athlete, several Canadians competing down here in the U.S.
See the determination on her face as she goes for the back 1.5 to the front layout. Beautiful toe point to show that off. Right in front of me, dear. She knows I love it.
Well done for Shea Zamardi, the senior from Vancouver Island, British Columbia.
She just floated this Arabian double, found the floor nicely, stepped across over just a little bit. They might be a little picky on that landing.
Edie Bro always giving a few extra notes. Katie Becker set to go on beam now. 9-1-7-5 was the score for Sam Serio, so a little extra pressure in the rest of the lineup. Remember, the best 5 scores out of 6 count towards the team total.
These are the situations that you can use for the experience you need to go into postseason. You got to be able to handle the pressure situations.
Front toss on beam, she claims is her favorite skill, and this is actually her favorite event as well.
Such a soft landing on that back handspring layout step out. A little bit short on those split positions in the air. You really want to see those feet come way up and past the 180 degrees. Judges also look for good amplitude, height off the beam. Let's see if she gets it on the dismount. 1.5 twist, just crossed over on the landing with that step, but a good solid routine. Let's see if she hits the split. It's really, we're seeing it in a frozen position. So yes, it's very close to the 180, but you gotta go beyond. You really need to go beyond an oversplit for the judges to register that full split. They will probably give her the benefit of the doubt, but it was a little close.
Maybe we can let the judges use our nifty little pro track. Okay, here is Maya Hambrick. Shea Zamardi had a 9.875, so first 2 scores for LSU on floor are superb.
Double layout. Oh! She piked just a little earlier than I know Jay Clark likes her to, but she handled a beautiful landing. Look at the height on that 2.5 twist, just a little short on the front flip out of it.
Third in the all-around last year at the NCAA Championship. She's an athlete who sort of flew under the radar of a lot of coaches. And boy, what a contribution she has been making these last few years to LSU. 6-time All-American.
It's nice they were able to rest her in the last competition on this event. She really needed it, not just physically, but mentally this long season. And she has been a workhorse for them for 2 years. Very nice pike double back at the end. Great job.
So far, 3 outstanding routines for the #2 team in the country, LSU.
Now I watched her do this in practice, and I know Jay said you don't need to pike right here. It kind of slows you on your rotation, but she pulled it out and had a perfect landing. Nice height. Check out the height. Just mistimed the punch into the front tuck, so that was slightly awkward. But the last pass, good lift, pike double back, finishes with her chest up. Good control.
Emma Engler, the sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, now up for Auburn on beam. 9.75 was the score for Katie Becker.
So nice to see that she has found her rhythm and her confidence this year on this event. Look at the determination. You could see it in her face as she went for that landing on her flight series.
She says her favorite event depends on the day. I guess that's probably pretty typical. Whatever event's going best.
Switch lead to a straddle quarter. She's working with very precise movement. Cat lead, little low amplitude on that, but a nice aerial cartwheel out of it. This is it. Gainer off the end. Little stiff-legged on her landing. I'd like to see her bend, plie just a little bit on that landing.
safer for your knees for sure.
Yep.
This young lady hopes to go to med school. There's 3 other gymnasts on the team that are all engineering majors, rocket science, aerospace, and mechanical. My goodness.
A lot of proud parents out there.
How
I
about
think.
that? Some brilliant young ladies and remarkable athletes as well. Let's go down to Laura.
Well, Bart, you think about this time of year for these gymnasts, a lot of it has to do with managing their conditioning, and some of that has to do with nutrition. So I was asking some of the LSU gymnasts about how they prepare for each meet, and they said, hey, we eat the exact same thing every single time before the meet. It's been the same way for as long as they can remember, and it's chicken and brown rice and vegetables. They never change, they never vary from that meal, and they feel like it's working for them.
Maya Hambrick had a 9.875. Here's Lexi Priestman.
Opens with a full twisting double back.
I think we should try the chicken and the brown rice. What do you say?
If it'll work, I'll do it. Wait a second, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, sorry.
She has just gotten stronger and stronger this year. And the one thing that has not wavered, that smile on her face.
You know, Laura made a good point when you talk about fitness and conditioning, nutrition. Sometimes as the season goes on, gymnasts actually get a little bit out of shape because they're competing every weekend and then recovering in the training room. And in fact, they don't necessarily have the same level of fitness that they had in the preseason. Isn't that right?
Not the great teams. They know how to manage that because you're right, actually. Sometimes you don't get the same number of routines. You're protecting your body because of the wear and tear in meets. If she can finish with a strong final pass, this is the best floor routine I've seen her do. Oh, not quite.
Hands down.
If there's support on both hands, that'll be a 0.3 of a point deduction. Just ran out of gas a little bit. Managing the energy in a floor routine where you want to tumble all out, dance all out. This one even required a little bit of work, you could see. But this last pass, arms were just sluggish. They went right to her legs, didn't quite get the lift at the beginning. Worked really hard. I'm sure that didn't feel great on her ankles, but I think she's okay.
Emma Engler had a 9.825. Emma Slappy was the 5th gymnast for Auburn.
She's young, but very well suited for this late in the lineup position. Very determined landing. Definitely see a calm look on her face. Good to see.
The redshirt freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. That's where we'll be in a few weeks for the SEC championships. All 8 teams in the SEC battling it out for pride in this amazing conference.
Here's her aerial cartwheel to a full. That is the option for the dismount. If you don't do a C, you have to do that D-acro element, that aerial cartwheel, into the full, which is a B. So that fulfills that special requirement. She does it nicely and should bring those feet together for the stick landing.
Leslie Priestman had a 9.65. This, of course, is McKenna Kelly, one of 4 daughters of Mary Lou Retton and her husband Shannon Kelly. And she had a big week last week, didn't she? 5 days ago, in fact, she scored a 9.975 with this amazing floor routine.
When they were able to rest Ashley Nat and Maya Hambrick, she got the anchor spot and came up big with a 9.975, and she's off to a good start here. Very strong routine and choreography to show off her personality and, of course, her bouncy tumbling run. She has so much power.
Of course, next week we'll be with LSU as they host Florida in Baton Rouge, and we expect to see her mother, Mary Lou Retton, in the audience. And final home meet, and that will be for the regular season SEC championship, because so far, LSU undefeated. Florida has 1 loss.
Nice finish, front through to a double back. High energy, high tumbling. Great job.
Last year, she was all SEC as a freshman.
She was a little bit short on that double layout, so she landed with her chest down but did not move her feet. Tuck double back. A little bit of a kind of an awkward jump, awkward little adjustment there, but not bad at all.
All right, let's go down to Laura.
We see Taylor Krippner mounting the beam here for Auburn. She said beam's always been her favorite event, and it's mainly because she loves the challenge. She likes to be able to say, yeah, I just did that, and that thing's only 4 inches wide.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, that's right. Emma Slappy, 9.85, a career high. So after that fall early in the lineup of Sam Serio, Auburn has come back nicely.
She opened with 3 elements in a row, dance and acro. Look at that leap. One of my favorite leaps in the competition. That switch leg leap. She gets her back leg up so high. Shows how you're supposed to go above and beyond that split. Woo, boy, she looked turned slightly to me, but that was just the angle that I'm seeing it from. This is an excellent balance beam routine and a great landing to finish. One of, if not her best yet.
Excellent work for Auburn Tigers in front of a huge crowd tonight.
Okay, now I explained that you really need to go beyond the 180 for us to register. That's what you have to hit, because if you're not there long enough, our eyes don't take it in. Judges are not superhuman. Look, see, she was kind of turned, but she just really adjusted perfectly in the air to come up with near perfection from start to finish.
And those judges, as you mentioned, they're also calculating special requirements, deductions, and they don't have the benefit of slow motion replays like we do to catch those positions. Here is Ashley Natt. Watch out, folks.
Uncanny the way she finds that landing every time.
4 times she scored perfect 10s for this particular routine, the 11-time All-American. This is where she's most comfortable.
Check out the height here. 2.5 twist, punch front. Perfect timing for that punch into the second element.
By the way, the score's in for Taylor Krippner for Auburn on beam, a 9.925. It's a career high for her after Emma Slappy's career high.
See how much energy it requires to perform these floor routines to their absolute best. Pike double back. Pulled off another really fine routine. It just, every time out.
She's coming off of a 9.85 from McKenna Kelly. Look at this power and technique.
And you know there is some fatigue here. There's no way they're not feeling some fatigue. Long season.
3 meets in 8 days.
Absolutely. I can see when they have to really turn it up a notch. Right here, I could see this took extra effort. Head down, charge into the run, pull that all the way around.
Even the gymnasties love it. They're like, look out, LSU's pretty darn good. Let's go down to Laura with Coach Jeff Grabe. They did an outstanding job on beam in the 3rd rotation.
Coach Grabe and I are trying to be the same height, so I'm gonna go down here. But Coach, I'm wondering about your thoughts on beam, considering that was a season high score for your team so far.
Well, I just told the girls I thought they fought really hard. You know, that's part of the deal here is you've got to block things out and you've got to keep pushing. And a young team struggles at times with that. And I thought by the third event, we finally settled down, and it was nice to see Taylor at the end knock it out of the park like that.
Yeah, you mentioned settling down and knocking it out of the park. You said this team doesn't have to hit home runs. They just have to get on base. How have they done that so far? How can that continue, to use a little baseball analogy going forward?
Yeah, well, we're really good at singles and doubles, and we're really bad at home runs. So I'm trying to get them to understand that a bunch of doubles helps, and I think you saw that on beam. We finally settled down, did what we normally do, and lo and behold, we get a good score out of the deal. So we got to do that on floor now.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. A little small ball for Auburn. It's working, though. They're keeping pace with the LSU Tigers as we head into the final rotation.
When you spend 100% of your time helping others, 100 years seems to go by in a flash. Auto Owners Insurance.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, yet up to 90% fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more. Add One-A-Day Men's, complete with key nutrients we may need, plus heart health support with B vitamins. One-A-Day Men's in gummies and tablets.
This year means so much to me, being that the school has given me so much. It's really fun, and I'm looking forward to giving as much as I can back to the school my senior year. So this is going to be a big year for me. I've grown in so many different ways, but growing as a gymnast, I've just become more comfortable with who I am, especially in competition. I've kind of embraced the fact that, I am who I am. I'm kind of loose and kind of fun. And so instead of just holding that all back, it just helps me get through meets, and I guess that's how I've grown as a gymnast.
I want people to think of Auburn as the team that doesn't stop. They just have fun, a team that has heart.
MJ wrote, as her gymnastics career is coming to a close, said that she really relies on something she learned from her family, and that's to be thankful for every single thing she has. She's soaking up every moment. She's taking in people's faces, expressions, as everything happens, because she said she wants to fill up her memory bank with a bunch of great memories from her time here at Auburn and her time as a gymnast. Now, she's about to perform on floor. It'll be one of her final times performing in front of this Auburn crowd at home. She's ready to light it up and perform for this great crowd.
Yeah, I don't know. Who is this?
Oh, she's my style forecaster. She analyzes trends to let me know if I should change my style now or wait.
Oh, kind of like how Kayak's price forecast tool analyzes over 1 billion travel searches to let you know if you should book your flight now or wait.
Yeah, exactly how Kayak does that.
Now.
Oh. Thank you.
That was close.
Get the information you need with Kayak. Travel problem solved.
Hard place to get to?
It wasn't too bad.
With the Chase mobile app, Jimmy Chin can master depositing his hard-earned checks in a snap. Easy to use Chase technology for whatever you're trying to master.
Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama. A packed, sellout crowd tonight here, and a great meet as LSU has a lead of just over a point over the host Auburn Tigers, and we're set now for the fourth and final rotation. LSU will be on the beam and Auburn will be on the floor. And I know, Kathy, this is one of your favorite beam lineups. Aaron McAdag, the junior from Redwood City, California, will lead off LSU.
Absolutely, Bart. And she proved she was human and had a fall on this event last week. Very unexpected. And I just saw Dee Dee Bro talking to her, and I'm sure she was saying, just be Aaron. Aaron is so calm and serene. She lost it a little bit there. It's hard sometimes getting back up on the beam or back in the saddle, if you want to refer to it that way, when you've had a fall. But it's exactly what you have to do, and she is so capable.
She got her career on beam started off the right way as a freshman. Her first meet ever, scored a 9.9 on beam for LSU.
She has everything in this routine to score big, and her calm yet aggressive approach just really tops it off.
4 feet 9 inches tall.
I've seen some nerves in the routine, but she got through it. She's back on track, and I know the magic will come back now that that confidence is coming back to her. It was her acro series, back handspring layout step out. Just a little uncertainty as she went for the landing, but she brought it back in, stayed calm, no panic, and finished strong.
I like what Dee Bro said to her last week after her fall. She said, hey, it's not world hunger. We'll get through this. We're a great team. Just keep your confidence. So Dee Bro's 40 years at the helm of LSU. She knows what to say to her athletes. Okay. They're on their feet here. The student section going crazy. Auburn on the floor. Katie Becker, the freshman from Boone, North Carolina, leads them off. She said her floor routine has a native vibe kind of feel to it.
Boy, and you can really feel the energy just elevate in this crowd as they come to floor. They love these routines. They love these athletes. And they're with them every step, every tumble of the way. See Ashley Claire Kenny in the background. She does all the choreography for these routines. Worked hard on that pike double back.
Rachel Innes says she really tries to put each gymnast in their character.
I've got all the choreographers in my head.
Rachel, of course, a former All-American gymnast here at Auburn, and she spent some time as a professional dancer at Disney. Came back to help put this team together, and really impressed with the work they've done this year.
Absolutely. And she's done their choreography throughout the years, but now she's there on a daily basis. So that really works on the polish, all the little things. And they've just gotten better and better. It looks like her toe stayed in bounds there.
Right on the line. If you go over the line there, it's an additional 1/10 of a point deduction on the landing. Katie Becker, the freshman from Boone, North Carolina. Solid contributor here in the leadoff spot. Hambrick, the junior from Temple, Georgia. We're going to monitor her routine against the special requirements that the beams are, judges are looking for on balance beam.
And what's cool to do as you go through the checklist is you can really see if they go above and beyond the requirement. Maya does her full turn here, but with her leg up in parallel position, a much more difficult C turn there. Hitch kick into an arrow cartwheel, just a slight balance check. She also had a fall this season, which was pretty uncharacteristic, but they've definitely put pressure on themselves because they're going up big. She's done her dance series now and her leap. Showed that full split. One thing LSU does that I really like is they put this acro series at the end, back handspring layout, step out, so they're not only fulfilling these special requirements, but they're showing great distribution of their difficulty throughout their routine.
That's a good point. A lot of gymnasts do their acro series right off the bat when they're fresh and energetic. She does it at the end.
And she does a C dismount, a double twist, and does it very, very well. More than fulfilled that checklist, went above and beyond in many respects, so that's a good scoring routine.
At this high level, most of the gymnasts we're seeing are fulfilling these requirements. Now, if there's a fall or if there's a break in a connection, all of a sudden, not only do they get a technical execution deduction, but they also lose the fulfillment of each requirement. Each requirement is worth 2/10 of a point on their own.
Next up on the floor,
Katie Becker led them off with a 9.75. Gracie Day. Emma Schlappy was supposed to be in the lineup, but Gracie Day gets the call today and really working on getting her landings in order.
Now she trains a full in, but she's going to do a double pike and end with a double tuck. This routine, we'll wait to put that upgrade in later in the season perhaps. So Jeff Graba picked this music. Rachel Ennis did the choreography, helped her come up with the character she calls Lola. I love those toes, the strength, the position. Lovely. Oh, couldn't quite get that middle leap in that series. Just slightly awkward on the takeoff. Pointed right at me here. That's great. I just love how these athletes have become entertainers, performers. The crowd loves it. Gymnastics love it. I know all the gym nerds out there love these routines. Finishes with her tuck double back.
Everything about this young lady says, hey, look at me.
You've got that right, Bart. Absolutely. Just from start to finish.
Gracie Day. The gymnasties liked it.
Now I said she's got an upgrade that she's working on, a full twisting double back there, but for now she's showing off 2 double backs.
Just a freshman from San Antonio.
What a fun routine.
Sydney Ewing now up for LSU. 9.8 was the score for Erin McAdag in leadoff. Maya Hambrick a 9.85.
Sydney Ewing is a very solid balance beam worker. Also goes above and beyond. Check out this acro series. She's going to do it to 2 feet. Right there in that one pass, she fulfills the up to the level requirement. She does the flight series. Also gets bonus on that as well. Switch leg to straddle. She was having trouble with that acro series in warm-ups, and she just nailed it in the meet. Standing layout step out to a straddle jump quarter. One of her better routines, and she's had some really good ones throughout her career. She can get the landing out of this 1.5 twist.
Nice.
Just excellent routine. Well done.
Strong balance beam routines, 3 in a row for LSU. You can see why they are literally a contender for the national championship, because most championships come down to who can nail beam.
And I see what Dee Bro was saying. These last 2 events, they really pull those sabers out. They attack hard, they go after it. They just need to do a little bit more on those first 2 events.
LSU with a lead of 1.3 here in this 4th rotation. You see a look of calm and excitement on Dee Bro's face as the LSU Tigers in solid position against the Auburn Tigers. Sam Serio now gets the call. Gracie Day had a 9.75 to follow up with Katie Becker's 9.75.
Sam describes her own routine as subtly sassy, and it was inspired by the movie The Mummy.
One of 4 athletes on this team that were adopted.
Take off a little bit because her chest was down on the landing.
Scores in for Sydney Ewing on beam for LSU, 9.925, career high.
Oh, she pulled that out. little bit low on the second somersault. Wait, another shout out to their choreographer, Rachel Ennis, and my apologies for getting them backwards with LSU's choreographer, but wow, she has done a superb job bringing out the performance quality and choreographing routines that just work. They go with the music, they excite the crowd, and the gymnasts love them.
We've had both coaches mic'd up all day long. Let's listen in.
Good job. Started out a little slow and then we got after it, okay? Let's keep it rolling.
Y'all, thank y'all. Y'all are really good.
Remember what we're trying to do here. Big vaults and show off landings, okay? Yes. Do the good stuff.
Work your shape. Toes up, stick it.
Two incredibly successful coaches, but they couldn't be more different, could
Night
they?
and day. And Lauren Lee got the call to do balance beam here. She has been so solid for them when they need her.
The junior from Plano, Texas, her freshman year at Penn State and then transferred to LSU. Last week she had a 9.925, her season high at this event. She had a foot injury early in the season, so we didn't see much of her. But that's one of the things Dee Bro is hoping to do, is test her depth here a little bit. Probably LSU is one of the deepest teams in the country.
Test the depth, that, and breathe fire into them, so they will continue this fire-breathing dragon season that they've called their effort this year.
Nice.
Well done by Lauren Lee. It's so nice to have an athlete that can step into and out of the lineup when needed. Really showed a lot of fight in that routine all the way through to a stuck landing.
Last year, LSU was second at the NCAA championships to Oklahoma and just ahead of Alabama, who finished third. And so maybe this is the year LSU has Dee Bro in their 40th season. And boy, she has a team that surely can contend for the national championship. Lucia Scaglione, the senior from Tampa, Florida now. Sam Sirio, a 9.65 before her.
And this first tumbling pass is really fun. She gets 0.4 of a point bonus. A front double twist, punch front.
Here's a young lady that had a mental block when she came to college. She couldn't do a simple backflip. You see, most of her tumbling is forward tumbling, except the final tumbling pass where she does a double backflip.
She also believed that she could not dance, and they have worked hard to create a routine where she's comfortable, and she is having the time of her life now performing it.
Talk about all these brainiacs on the team from Auburn. She's a biomedical student, plans to attend med school. Double back. Nice.
Good for her. Great control on her final pass.
So for all you little gymnasts out there who might have a mental block going backwards, here's a young lady who's made it to the highest level in collegiate gymnastics, and she had some fears herself. 7,424 in the house, the second sellout of the year. What a great job Jeff Graba has done here at Auburn in his 7th season. He's building a fine team and a terrific fan following.
And they are the best kind of fans, not fair weather fans. They've had some issues this competition season, but they have not faltered once in their support. Oh, she only did a single. You're used to seeing that triple wolf turn.
Sarah Finnegan, the sophomore from Lee Summit, Missouri. Lauren Lee had a 9.875.
Very nice position on both of her leaps, especially with the toe point. Some gymnasts really lose that at the height of their leap. I see extreme concentration on her face, really striving for absolute perfection. And it's something she is capable of on this event. Aerial cartwheel to the full twist. Well done. That's going to be a big score. Even without her triple wolf, she simply does the full turn. That fulfills the requirement of the full turn, but going above and beyond. And these, gorgeous. Look at that. Beyond the split, that's why we see it. And then this half twist into the split leap as well. Beautiful. Textbook perfect on the dismount combination.
And back to floor for Auburn, Lucia Scaglione, 9.8, and Cullen Lawick now, the senior from Texas, in the 5th of 6 spots for Auburn.
And Cullen used to do an Arabian double, and they just decided this year they could not with her feet. She has issues with her feet, so watch this nifty pass. Rudy into a back with a full. I like it.
Connecting those two skills gives her combination bonus as well.
Then she comes back with a double back. You can see both feet, both ankles heavily taped. Now it's also interesting because of her demanding degree, aerospace engineering, she often doesn't get to practice with the team. Spends just more hours in the classroom, so they have to work around that.
Coach Gravis says, when coaching her, he says everything's a math problem to her, even gymnastics.
Let's see if she can get the calculus right on this final pass. Front with a full into a front layout. I'd say she gets an A.
Well done.
And she's, I love that ending, because that's what I felt like doing at the end of every floor routine, but it wasn't my choreography.
Passing out.
Doesn't quite work with Swan Lake. Oh, look at this. 1.5 twist to back with a full. That's just a nifty, cool pass. And a front full, front layup. They might get her a little on the amplitude. Needs to be a little bit higher, but what a fun routine.
Ashley Natt will wrap it up for LSU on the beam. Sarah Finnegan before her a career high, 9.95. So LSU will get the team win today, no question about it. You see their team score already, 197.625, and they can even score higher, although the lowest score on beam is only a 9.8. So impressive team outing for the LSU Tigers.
I love the way she worked out of that full turn and then stepped, lifted her leg. Oh, that's too bad. She's not going to get that. So good. She adds a second one. You always have a backup because you have to combine those dance elements to fulfill that requirement. Get your bonus for the combination. She couldn't quite connect the first leap. Switch side. And they showed up a nice split, nice shape in the air on that one. She does her acro series at the end. Just a little nervous there, you could tell. She was just slightly off. The routine started off beautifully. Had a couple little issues, but the sign of a great gymnast. They worked through them. And still comes up with a stuck landing after a double twist. She was like, wow, I had to work on that routine.
And what a pop off the beam on that dismount to set up that beautiful landing.
Yeah, she just rushed the landing. When you land in that piked position with the chest down, really hard to nail it perfectly, but no one finds a landing better than she does on a dismount.
Okay, well, we mentioned there's 7,424, but there's a little football royalty. Gus Malzahn and his wife Christy here, the head coach of Auburn's fine football team, in the house tonight, along with a sold-out crowd supporting MJ Road in one of her final performances here in front of a home crowd. Colin Lawick at 9.875 season high.
And this just sets this place on fire. A floaty double layout. She was going to take that long combination pass out of bounds. This music has a way of really just getting into almost your heartbeat. She has excited the crowd so far. If she can get this landing, I think they may go to their feet for this one.
Nice.
Strong finish, a little bit of a pogo stick landing. But what an awesome response from the audience. Appreciative crowd.
And the gymnasties on their feet for their favorite, MJ Rote, the senior from Stillwater, Minnesota.
So much power in this little body. Keeps it straight all the way around. Almost flew this one right out of bounds. 4 elements all in a row. I know she wanted to stick this, couldn't quite get a perfect landing, landed a little stiff-legged and bounced. But who cares, says the gymnasties. That was fabulous.
All right, we'll wait for the score for this young lady, MJ Rote, 9.85. So deducted a little bit on those landings. Not what the gymnasties wanted to see, but that will wrap it up tonight. LSU 197.675, 196.1 for Auburn. We'll be back to talk to the winners when we come back.
Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The new Mazda 3.
And welcome back to Auburn. LSU stays undefeated in the SEC. They get the win tonight over Auburn, 197.675, a very impressive score. Once again, LSU above the magic 197 benchmark. Auburn an impressive 196.1. Let's go down to Laura with Dee Bro.
Thank you, Bart. And Coach, how would you describe the confidence of your Beam team?
You know, this was our 3rd meet in 8 days. And we had 2 days of training this week, and we really felt good about it. They're just really comfortable, especially when Aaron McAday goes first and does a good job for us. They're just really comfortable, and they enjoy being together as a team.
You mentioned 3rd meet in 8 days. This is the Dragon team, the Dragon season. How have they handled all of this?
You know what? We've done a really good job as a staff knowing when to rest them and when to push them, and they've been very, very responsive, and we travel well, so we've been able to get some rest and get home early, and they've really handled themselves really well.
You said you weren't looking past Auburn toward Florida next week. Now that
next week,
you have Florida next week. So what are your thoughts as you head into this week of preparation for this Florida meet?
You know, it's going to take a team effort. It's going to take a total team. From the first person to the sixth person, it's going to take the consistency that we had tonight, but we're going to have to stick more landings.
All right, well, we can't wait for it. Thanks, Dee Dee.
And go Tigers.
There's a lot of Tigers here tonight,
And
Bart.
we'll be there next week, Florida at LSU. The place will be rocking at the PMAC, the Pistol Pete Maravich Center in Baton Rouge. Let's take a look at what's next for the SEC, brought to you by Regions. This was the first week, by the way. They used the RQS, stands for Regional Qualifying Score. That's how they rank the teams going into postseason. SEC Championships will be there in Jacksonville, Florida, March 18th. And, of course, you can even improve your RQS score there after those championships. The NCAA Regionals begin April 1st. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be covering the NCAA Championships from St. Louis. So we're glad you've joined us for a thrilling night of competition in the SEC. Kathy Johnson-Clark, your final thoughts on what you saw tonight with these two teams?
I'm happy for both teams because I think they achieved a lot of what they wanted to do. Auburn is just chugging along, still that little engine that could, and LSU consistent as always, but they're right. They're going to have to stick more landings going after Florida.
Well, that wraps it up from Auburn. Coming up next, SEC Now for Laura Relich, Kathy Johnson-Clark, and our entire crew. I'm Bart Connor. Let's send it to the studio. Thanks for watching.
Alexa, play my lifting playlist.
Alexa, add clean under the sofa to my to-do list.
I've added clean under the sofa to your to-do list.
Alexa, what action movies are playing this weekend?
Here are a few
Put his beard
I'm
down.
not going to watch.